call the Village Board meeting to order. Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Jensen.
Here.
Trustee Miller.
Here.
Trustee Otterson.
Here.
Trustee Sittig.
Here.
Trustee Wells.
Here.
Attorney Magna. Mayor Hooker.
Here.
And Clerk McDonald's here.
And absent, we have Trustee Gust. Okay. If you would all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a reminder to the board tonight, our Deputy Clerk Donna has asked that I remind you that please turn on your microphones when you're going to speak, because otherwise the recorded video does not include your voice, or at least not much of it. So just a reminder there. Tonight on our consent agenda, we have the following: the approval of the minutes of the December 12th board meeting. Bills presented for payment from the 1226 bill list in the amount of $87,374.20. Bills presented for payment for the current list of $98,175.56. The finance report from November, the building report, planning and zoning report, code enforcement report, public safety report, and the annual minutes from the November 6th Committee of the Whole meeting. Is there any item that the board would like to have pulled and discussed separately? Is there anything that the public would like to have pulled and discussed separately? There being none, I would accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Otterson.
Aye.
Trustee Sittig.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
And Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay. Trustee reports, committee reports, building and zoning, Trustee Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Happy New Year to all. Welcome back. And we have two items on the, two reports on the night, both of which refer to the same property. The first is regarding an ordinance to approve a conditional use permit for a dwelling unit for proprietor, caretaker, watchman, for commercial use at 36911 North Green Bay Road. And conditional use is for Mr. Greg Hurst, who's actually currently in the audience there. Hurst is requesting renewal of a conditional use permit for the dwelling unit, as it said, for proprietary, caretaker, or watchman of commercial use at the above reference. The site is currently Zone B1 district that was brought into the village under an annexation agreement in 2007. The petitioner primary use for the subject property is to use as an insurance office, which is permitted in the B1 district. Per the terms of the annexation agreement, the terms would be used for residential use until it was sold. Petitioner would be the first after that, be the first owner after the current owner. For the proposed business, the existing single-family dwelling would be laid out in approximately 900 square feet office space on the first floor, with the second floor dwelling approximately 600 square feet. Proposed use with the insurance office and dwelling unit will require approximately 5 spaces. With the current parking area in the garage, able to provide approximately 9 to 10 spaces. The insurance office business only has between 3 to 4 employees, with at most 5 to 10 customers per day, with the office hours matching the general daytime hours, Monday through Saturday. On that property, again, it's a, I don't know if you're familiar with it, it's right now currently a single-family dwelling, I think located at the corner of Green Bay and Tyler. It's kind of an eyesore, been sitting there. It's a gaudy-looking green building with a huge 8-foot and 6-foot fence, currently surrounded as a fortress. So Mr. Hurst is proposing to take down that fence, number one, which will, again, give it a lot more curb appeal. He's also looking to add some paint and some other extras. He's going to put up a sign, and as his money, as a success, allows him to, he will be making improvements in the up and coming months. So the first order of business would be consider an ordinance approving petition of Mr. Gregory Hurst for conditional use permit for the dwelling for proprietary caretaker and watchman of the commercial use at 36911 North Green Bay Road.
So moved.
And that is ordinance number 1. The clerk had to remind me that was ordinance number 1. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? There being none, roll call, please.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
And Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Your Honor. And secondly, for that same property, seeking a variance for the landscape setback for the parking lot area, abutting a street of B1 district. Petition is proposed to use, again, for an insurance office. The proposed variance is to accommodate the reuse of the existing parking lot area with reduced landscape yard setbacks of approximately 6 feet versus the 10 feet that's required under the current zoning ordinance. The parking lot area will accommodate approximately, again, 3 spaces, as well as access to 3 garage spaces as well. Parking is presently screened by a non-conforming fence, again, which will be removed. Subject property does contain a significant number of large, mature existing trees which are to be preserved, but may be impacted by the parking lot improvements as expanded at this time. The petitioner will be submitting a landscape plan to staff for review and approval. Also, we will be providing parking plans for the staff to review for approval. With that, we entertain a motion to approve a variance for the above-mentioned property for landscape yard setbacks at, again, 36911 North Green Bay Road. I make that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. This will be ordinance number 2. I did that all by myself.
All right.
Any additional discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
And Trustee Addison.
Aye.
The motion carries.
And with that, Mr. Mayor, hopefully the improvements that Mr. Hurst is looking to make, again, will be the first step in a long list of steps to cleaning up, to start to clean up some of that stuff along the Green Bay corridor. So,
Yep, it'd be good to see a business located there and encourage you to be successful.
I wish you all the best. Thank you, and that concludes my report.
Right. Next item is the TIF committee. We have no report. There was no meeting this month. Moving on to Public Works, we have Trustee Addison.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's one item on the agenda for Public Works. It's a proposal for a drainage study from the village engineer to be conducted in west of Green Bay Road in the Maplewood Manor, Green Bay Terrace subdivision area. This is something we've talked about for a while. There's the village staff has gone out and made a couple of improvements with some of the drainage to alleviate some small problems, but there is no master plan out there for making everything work together. This was a budgeted item. We've been anticipating doing this, and actually the quote from the engineer came in below what the budgeted amount was, a not-to-exceed number. So I would make a motion that we approve the contract with RHMG for the engineering study for the drainage in the Maplewood Manor, Green Bay Terrace subdivision for a not-to-exceed amount of $19,850.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? This is certainly a project with much merit. If you've been in those neighborhoods after the rains, it's, I remember watching what I would call a step below a monster truck driving through one of those flooded streets one day, and the water was almost at the top of his tires, so.
And another one of the issues, unfortunately, we don't have a sanitary collection system out there. Those homes are all on septics.
Yep.
And when there's rains and the yards flood, that could bring up issues in the future. So it'd be nice to get that taken care of before we have a big problem with the septic in the area.
Good.
Unfortunately, this is just the first shoe.
Right.
This is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, this is the engineering study, and we'll get some stuff on paper, and we've been pretty successful at getting grants for things like this with the CDBG money and things through stormwater, some matching funds things, so I think in the next couple of years, we'll probably be able to include at least a portion of this in our yearly, drainage improvement work, so.
Unlike most of our village, that area actually falls into the Des Plaines watershed.
Right.
Which might open up grant opportunities. We don't have a
That's
lot
true.
of time, a lot of discussions
That's
with
true.
the Des Plaines side of the equation.
One of the few areas in the village that doesn't drain past my house.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Wells.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
And Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Motion
Okay, that was the last item on the agenda. I just do want to go on record saying that I really appreciate the Public Works crew and the work they've done the last few weeks. It seems like there was a while, we had, 4 days where it never stopped snowing? Wasn't that what it was? And they were on my street, time and time and time and time again, every time there was a little bit there. So, as usual, I think they did a good job, and hats off to them.
Yeah, between that and the cold temperatures, they've been busy,
Yeah.
so.
Unfortunately, the cold temperature, that's the first thing that brought relief from all the snow they were getting, but you couldn't do anything else to enjoy yourself a couple days. It was dangerous to be outside, so.
And there's really only been 3 weeks of winter so far.
No.
And it's funny, today at work felt like a heat wave. I
I
was
know.
walking around with no hat, no gloves. But anyway,
Tom Skilling said the average temperature so far this month has been 7.5 degrees.
that's bad.
It's almost 17 degrees below normal. So let's look forward to some normal. Maybe, everything averages out. I think 40s for the rest of the month would be great. All right.
I'm sure that correlates somehow with the groundhog seeing his shadow or something, so
Yeah.
whatever we got.
All right, we'll get the spotlights out or whatever.
Mr. Mayor, I'd also just like to echo what Mr. Trustee Alderson indicated. Again, our crews have done a tremendous job under some pretty trying circumstances, and they've been working tirelessly, and I'd like to commend them for a job well done.
Thanks. All right. Next, we have the Finance Committee. Trustee Jensen.
Apart from the fact that we have our next Finance Committee meeting is the 15th at 6 p.m., and the public is invited, I have nothing to report tonight.
Right. Public Safety, we have Trustee Siddick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report tonight.
All right. Public Relations, you got anything over there?
No, sadly, I do not, but thank you for asking.
Well, thank you, Trustee Miller. And Trustee Gus is not here. Does anyone have a report on behalf of Parks and Recreation?
I haven't talked to him since he's been out with his,
His comment on my voicemail today was it was a little tricky getting around when it's slippery. So I think
yeah.
with that little dusting of snow we had today, that's pretty much all it took to keep him home. So, but I understand he's doing well.
he got, a bionic hip or something, right?
Yeah, he's,
He's gonna be a lot faster.
Now the world knows.
all right, we have no engineer tonight and we have no treasurer tonight. John, do you have anything for us? All right. Anything from the attorney?
Nothing.
Nothing from the attorney.
Nothing but a bill, I'm sure.
Anything from our clerk? Nothing from our clerk. Well, I have one item tonight, and as you're all aware, working its way through a couple of different committees has been the discussion about video gaming. And I think we've reached a point where we've had recommendations from the committees that the board should have a discussion and investigate the ordinance changes and likewise the potential effects that it may have on the community, et cetera. So with that in mind, I would suggest that we would place on the agenda for our next board meeting a discussion, which then I would direct staff to prepare an outline, so to speak, of the various ordinance changes that would be involved. Several would be impacted, as we've discussed before, the zoning ordinance, the liquor license ordinance, the building, the business license ordinance, and a few others that would be touched on as well. So with the board's understanding that I intend to place this on the agenda for the next meeting. Just a point of information so that we can get somewhere. We have applause from the audience. All right. Obviously, we would not be in a position to advance any ordinances at the meeting. It would be a discussion, and then from there, if the board was of a mind to direct staff to create ordinances, then we would discuss those at probably the first meeting in February, but if they're prepared in time. So that would be our situation there. Yes.
With regard to that, I'm just looking at our packet tonight, and it reminds me that in November, we actually did ask staff to draft that ordinance. So,
The staff has been working on the changes, but until the board actually gives the staff specific direction and gives validation, drafting the ordinances would be a little premature because the board may say no or direct them otherwise, so.
yeah, well, I too am anxious to put this thing to rest one way or the other,
Yeah.
so
I think we're getting
I
close.
appreciate getting it advanced this far.
You bet.
Ditto.
Okay. That's all I had tonight. Citizens addressing the board. Anyone of our citizens that are here, or anyone that would like to address the board, please rise, come to the podium, state your name, your address, and your case. All get up.
They all look away.
There's more people here. We have actually more people here tonight than we've seen in a whole month. This whole year, as a matter of fact. This is record attendance for the year. All right. I'll take that as a no thank you. We have no cause tonight for an executive session. Is there any other business for our board tonight? Someone could make a motion then to.
So moved.
Second.
To adjourn.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
And Trustee Wells.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
I didn't realize you were back to me already. I lose track of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, for a wonderful meeting.
Go out of.